focus on my brake lights. Ain't turning back, now that I'm back on track, yeah. Take my word from it, put a couple bands on it, and I don't plan on letting people turn me, no. You can say what you want, I'ma keep pressing on. I came about that thing like I'm feeling green, right? Talking to my past life, focus on my brake lights. To my future now.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Breaking the Silence.
Hi.
If this is your first time watching us, listening to us, then we want to introduce ourselves. My name is Angelie.
I'm Nori. I'm Shaitia.
And again, this is Breaking the Silence. So for an hour, I want you to sit tight and maybe even interact with us because there will be moments and segments that we need their interaction, but that's going to be a surprise. Or maybe you're a first-time viewer, so I want you to stay tuned. But we also have very interesting topics that we want to talk about today and a little game as well. So let's dive into our first topic, which is going to be imposter syndrome.
Oh my goodness.
Women.
Overcoming imposter syndrome.
Yes. If you are going through this right now, you doubt your success, well, I want you right now to listen later on for us to be discussing how you can actually overcome imposter syndrome. And another thing for all our maybe seasoned ladies, I don't want to say anything else, but those are going through menopause, we know it's not something easy, it's a phase that is very difficult. So we're going to bring you something that may be of help, maybe an option that would actually, be helpful for you. So we're going to weigh the benefits and the risk. And if this is something that you want to consider later on, then I want you to stay tuned. So we are going to explore hormone replacement therapy. And if you don't know what it is, don't worry, we got your back. So later on as well, we are going to play a game. Would you rather?
Would you rather? I'm ready.
I hope they're not as weird as, some of them. Yeah, some of them we have like some weird ones. But later on, again, we're going to play Would You Rather. But that's enough talking. We are going to give you a break and we'll be right back.
All right.
Laugh, learn, and love with Breaking the Silence. We'll be right back.
Travel is part of the American way of life.
When we're on vacation, we keep an eye out for anything that looks out of place.
Miss your bag.
When we travel from city to city, we pay attention to our surroundings.
Everyone plays a role in keeping our communities safe.
Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, be aware of your surroundings. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
My name is Gary Parker. I served as a Cavalry Scout and a military policeman in the United States Army for 20 years. When I was a Cavalry Scout, we had a young lieutenant that came in, great guy, but he moved on, got promoted to lieutenant colonel, went on to Afghanistan, and I was able to keep in contact. And I'd wake up one morning, go on social media, and there's that post you don't want to see. For whatever reason, he took his own life. Nobody knows why he did it. And if there's something that we could have done to prevent it from happening, safe gun storage can prevent gun suicide because it's that added step to get to your firearm that might just give somebody a moment of reflection on what they're doing. As a veteran, we need to be ambassadors to people that don't have the knowledge that we have. Anytime you're not storing a weapon safely, you're putting yourself and your community at risk. Service never stops.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere, and just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
You are watching Breaking the Silence.
On Breaking the Silence, we aim to broaden your horizons on a variety of topics.
Justification that comes with any addiction.
Beneficial advice you can use in your daily life.
But as you mature, you have to be with someone who matures with you.
Let's explore today's topic together on Breaking the Silence.
All right, so before we talk about our first topic of the day, we want to go on our question of the day because breaking the silence is not the same without our question of the day. So let's pull up our question.
All right.
This is for you, viewers. So should mobile phones be banned in restaurants?
This is tricky.
Listen, if you try to do that, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, there will definitely be a riot.
Yeah, that's why I don't know. I don't know. What about you? What do you think? What is your opinion on this question? We have our QR code that's going to pop up in your screen right now. If you wanted to interact with us and participate in this conversation, you say that I have a strong opinion on this. So this is the QR code that you can actually scan right now. It's Breaking the Silence _talk show. And that's going to direct you to our Instagram page. And later on, and towards the end of the show, we're going to be reading some comments, some maybe strong opinions or maybe not so strong opinions, but we are still going to read them because here in Breaking the Silence, we're no filter, so we just, we are breaking the silence anyways. Okay, so now we're going to our first topic of the day, which is imposter syndrome.
Yes.
And we've heard it. We've seen even famous people talk about it. They've become, vulnerable to this type of insecurity, right? I would say. But you see that this is not only common for an average Joe or for an average individual, but even those who've actually succeeded, those who actually have achievements, face this, sometimes.
Yeah, that nagging feeling of inadequacy or that you're just not qualified or, all of these negative thoughts and much more that comes with this imposter syndrome. That's what we're going to be
And this syndrome is unique to women because you don't really see men who feel as if they're inadequate, who feel as if they shouldn't be where they are. So we're going to give you some tools, some tips on how you can overcome and stop self-sabotaging because with this imposter syndrome, you kind of feel as if it's too good to be true, so you kind of mess up, because in your mind, no, I shouldn't be here. Then you start messing up and doing things.
It's true.
Yeah, and to just summarize it or maybe give a definition of it, you mentioned it already, Nori, is the persistent feeling of inadequacy despite of the success. It's laid in front of you and they tell you your boss or maybe, the company is giving you promotions, awards because you've done a good job in your job or even the task that was given to you or a project or even you've won awards, but still there's that inadequacy, there's that self-doubt that I'm not good enough, I still have to prove myself, kill myself with work, overtime, whatever it is, or have like the highest position so that I can feel that I'm actually doing something.
That's exactly right. And you mentioned it, the characteristics of it, self-doubt, the fear of failure as well, which also makes the person to kind of want to become a perfectionist, which listen, no one is ever going to be perfect. But a person who has this thing of being a perfectionist, they kind of tend to make their lives or make themselves miserable in a way because it's like if things don't go well or as they planned or imagined, it's like everything is ruined, everything is thrown off, and everything, it isn't good. It just isn't good at all. So, those are one of the things as well that a person with imposter syndrome goes through.
Yeah, exactly. And, research has shown that while it's mostly associated with women, men also do suffer with imposter syndrome. But also I feel like men don't express it as much as women do. Because we're emotional, so we're
more expressive.
Exactly. So it's more known with women, but men do experience it as well. So I think that's also something we can look at and think about. And I was just thinking of like a comedy show that I watched. And it was like, oh, how often, raise your hand, men who you got hit on by a woman. And so most of them don't raise their hand. And then the woman, he asked the woman, raise your hand if you got hit on by a man. And then all of them raised their hand. And he was like, why? Because women don't hit on men really, but a man will hit on everybody. He doesn't care if he's the ugliest person in the world. He in his mind, he's the best and he will just do whatever he wants. So that kind of reminds me of that because we're so used to like being more reserved, shy, scared, and men are just like, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, and we have some signs on how imposter syndrome can manifest in someone's life. You've mentioned perfectionism, where you're just like fearing criticism. Another thing is the self-doubt, the constant self-doubt that, you know, you're questioning your skills and you need external validation, fear of failure, and also attributing your success to luck instead of like your skill, your capability. So, oh no, I just got lucky that I got that promotion. Oh no, I just got, you know, lucky that I was chosen to be this, you know, a new leader in this team or a new leader in this project. You know, even again, as I've mentioned, we have famous people like Michelle Obama. We have even Maya Angelou, a renowned author. We also have Natalie Portman. She's an actress, but she also attended Harvard. And when she mentioned this when she was doing her speech, that when she stood there, she said that I'm not just, you know, I feel like I'm inadequate because, you know, for a lot of people, they would see me as just an actress. But now I'm in Harvard, these are like intelligent, smart people, and I don't think I'm supposed to be here. But you see, like even those people that we see famous or, you know, historical figures, we see them having this self-doubt constantly, you know, fear of failure. So imagine an average Joe who's just like, who am I? If these people are already doubting their success, imagine me who's still climbing the ladder and sometimes still falling, you know? So it's a common feeling that women, you know, sometimes have to go through. However, there are steps where you can overcome this imposter syndrome.
And one of the ways that you can be able to overcome this imposter syndrome is by challenging the negative thoughts.
Yes.
I mean, negative thoughts is something that unfortunately you cannot run away from. It is something that bombards you. It is something that always comes up. You know, it doesn't matter where, when, how, it just happens. But the worst thing that we can ever do is entertain it. Entertain the negative thoughts. I mean, listen, if you put in the work, if you made the sacrifices, if you've gone the extra mile, if you've done all of the tangible things, you know, to get you to where you are, listen, give yourself some grace and don't allow them negative thoughts to bring you down, because listen, you made it this far, you can go even further. So I think challenging the negative thoughts, you know, maybe saying words of affirmation. I do that. I stand in the mirror and I'll be like, Nori, you got this, girl. You can do it, you know? So those are one of the things that you can be able to do in order to overcome imposter syndrome.
And, you know, also focusing on the things that you have achieved, because a lot of times we think like, I can do better, I can be better. But you have to also learn how to focus on the things that you did accomplish, because as you said, nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes, you know, so maybe you didn't hit that goal that you wanted to hit. Maybe in your mind you were supposed to already have your PhD and you're supposed to be this big time, but you haven't reached that level yet. So that's why you feel inadequate, because you're like, no, I should be higher, I should do this. But you have to also be happy of the things that you did accomplish. Be proud of yourself and have self-compassion, you know. Understand that things happen, life happens, mistakes happen. It's normal, it's natural for things not to go 100% the way you expected it to go. So have that self-compassion on yourself as well.
For sure.
Yeah, and focusing your strengths. Focusing on your strengths, because most of the time we just focus on, this I cannot do. This, I just constantly fail on this. So focus on the strength that you have, even if it's just one, invest in that, and that could actually be, you know, the most powerful capability that you may have. But sometimes we just downplay that and say, okay, everybody does this. For example, it's cooking. Everybody knows how to cook, or cleaning, you know, or organizing, you know how to plan your time, your day, you know how you have organization skills that nobody ever has, but you downplay it and just say it's just a common trait. It's a common strength that everybody has. I want something unique. Make that strength a unique trait, you know, and once you invest in it, then you'll see that, you know, yes, you do deserve that success that's coming your way.
Exactly. I like that you said that, because a lot of times, you know, it's easy for a person, like if I was to come and ask someone, or maybe like in a group setting, you know, make a list of things that you cannot do. Easily, people will write down that list of things that they cannot do. and the list for things that they can do would be short. Why? But why? You know, and even if you might look at something that's for you is kind of like a weakness, or it's kind of like a, you know, it's a flaw. For others, it might be a strength. So listen, shift your perspective, because what you consider a weakness, other people might consider a strength. So focus on the strength, and things that you might think that, you know, is a weakness for you. Just look at it differently, because you can definitely make it and excel in that.
Exactly. And you know, that goes with also learning. You know, focus on learning things instead of you wondering like, oh, I should be this. Like maybe you made a mistake. Okay, how can I learn from this mistake?
Right.
How can I not make it next time? When you shift your focus on learning, on growing, then you're gonna see that those negative thoughts, those doubts that you don't deserve to be here, you're gonna be like, no, I invested a lot of time. You know, I studied for this, because you remember everything that you did to get to that place, instead of you just focusing on like, oh yeah, this, that. So if you, as you said, shift your focus on the things that you can grow from, that you can learn from, then you won't have room for those doubts to come in.
There you go.
And another thing is embracing imperfections, because no one, you know, with somebody who's having imposter syndrome, they are like constantly wanting to be perfect.
Right.
But we are not. No matter what we do, there's absolutely no way that you can be perfect. So embrace that imperfection that you have. Although I'm not saying that you're just going to settle down on that. You know, settle down on, you know, the flaws or the weaknesses. You can improve. But then it's the acknowledging part. It's the accepting part. Okay, I'm weak on this thing. Maybe I don't know how to manage my time wisely, or maybe I need to improve on how to communicate.
Right.
So let me work on that. You know, but you have to acknowledge that, okay, this is something that's a flaw of mine or a shortcoming of mine, and then you go on to improve on that task or that skill.
And celebrate your achievements, whether small or big, celebrate it. You know, me speaking in public, that's a celebration for me. So I think after the show, I'm going to treat myself.
Okay.
I'm going to treat myself.
Can you treat us too?
Yes,
no, not at all.
right?
Not at all. But no, but seriously, you know, celebrate your achievements, because that's one step further towards, you know, being great, towards accomplishing things, towards coming out of your comfort zone and doing things that you probably didn't think that you can do. So celebrate it, whether small or big. You know, pat yourself in the back and say, yeah, I did it. You know?
And I'm sure, like, especially with me, I've had moments where I had this, you know, imposter syndrome, where I felt like maybe I wasn't doing a good job. Maybe I even said it, like, sometimes when I talk, I feel as if like I don't make sense. So I'm like, did that make sense? I hope so. Know that it's normal, it's natural. Like, a lot of people go through this. You're not the only one. And I think it's also good when you bring it up, like, hey, you know, like, to someone that you trust, like, did I make sense? Like, for me, like, did I make sense when I said that? Or whatever you're having doubts with, because as you said, that can maybe, that person will reassure you, like, no, girl, you did a good job. You're doing great. Don't worry about it, rather than you entertaining it by yourself.
There you go.
Yes. And now we ask this question to our viewers. You know, maybe you've gone through this. Maybe you're somebody who's maybe going through it right now, or if you've gone through it, what helped you cope with imposter syndrome? Because we just gave a few. That is not all. There would be like individual not individual patterns, individual coping skills, coping mechanisms for individual people, because your case is different than another person. So maybe you do have like, how do you say it?
Some tips.
Some tips that actually worked for you, and suggestions, ideas that worked for you that we can actually also share with other viewers. So help us and DM us your answers, any ideas that you may have. But right now we're gonna go on a quick break and we'll be right back.
Don't change the channel. We will be right back with more Breaking the Silence.
Having low income can mean making tough choices. Choosing between paying for food or medication or a place to live is a reality for many people. Do you know someone who could use some extra help? Find out about the Supplemental Security Income Program, SSI. You could receive monthly SSI payments if your income and financial resources are low and you are 65 or older, or an adult or child with a disability or who is blind. SSI is money you can use to help pay for basic needs, like putting food on the table, keeping the lights on, paying the rent. It can mean new shoes for growing feet or help with medical needs. Call 1-800-772-1213 or visit ssa.gov/SSI to schedule an appointment or start to apply today. That's ssa.gov/SSI. Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere, and just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Let's strive to grow together on Breaking the Silence.
Okay, we're back and we're going to play Would You Rather. Are you going to play with us?
Yes, they will. They ain't got no choice.
Yes, yeah, you don't have a choice. Okay, so are we ready, ladies?
Yes,
Would you rather?
we are.
Okay.
I'm ready.
I am ready for Would You Rather.
Okay, so it's mindful musings.
All right.
Okay, I guess we're gonna rack your brains a little bit. Okay, so we're ready for the first one. Let's pull it up. Okay.
So the first one.
All right. So first, would you rather live in a world where everyone is always honest, or a world where everyone is always happy?
Tia.
I say honest.
Of course.
Yes.
I would have to go with honest as well.
Me too.
Honesty is the best policy.
Yes.
Because if they might be happy because they're being lied to, and that's
horrible.
Not right.
No,
like,
no.
just be honest, just
Yeah.
tell the truth, and even if it doesn't make me happy, at least I know the truth.
There you go. Keep it 100. Honesty all the way, y'all.
Honesty.
All right.
So we're unanimous in that. It's
Yes.
honesty.
Yes. Alrighty. So that's it. 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Next one. There you have it. So would you rather have the ability to perfectly time manage every single day, or have the ability to complete any task in just 15 minutes?
No question. No question asked.
I think the procrastinator in me have to go with the 15 minutes.
What do you mean?
I would do 15 minutes too.
Because life happens. Things can change.
No.
Like things can change. Something can come up unexpectedly.
I want the 15
I
minutes.
want the 15 minutes.
You're gonna do the time manage?
Yes, I would have to go with perfectly time managed.
No, I would go with 15.
I'd go with
because
15 minutes.
15 minutes, I don't think you're gonna do a great job.
But it says you complete it.
I mean,
so you
I don't know.
do
That's still
I
iffy
would
for
do
me.
15.
I do the 15.
I would
Sorry,
15.
Because
I
what
would
if
do the
you have
perfect
your
time.
day mapped out and then something happens unexpectedly? Like you will have to switch.
No,
you have to change it.
I do 15 minutes. Because like the 2 hours
so 2
that
against 1.
I do 15 minutes.
Okay, so 2 against 1 then.
Yes.
I'm stick
Okay.
with this one right here.
All right. So we have our next one. Would you rather have the ability to talk to animals, or the ability to communicate telepathically with humans? I would say telepathically.
No.
Because we can be sitting here having a conversation.
I have so many things in mind that I do not want to know what's yours.
Do you know how dangerous that would be?
Yeah.
That would be
we can turn it
easy.
off. Like,
you cannot. You cannot turn it. No.
Listen.
Yes.
Listen, y'all.
No.
Me and Tia, we cannot be in the same room together.
No.
That's why I am saying that this would be, would not be a good idea. Because if we were in a serious setting.
No.
We can already read each other's facial expressions.
Imagine with the...
That's not gonna fly. I don't want that. So I'ma definitely go with
talk
this
to
one.
animals.
I don't want to talk to no animal because I eat meat, so I don't want them to say anything. I don't want to be
my goodness.
Like,
you'd be like,
the wolf like, you eat me today. You ate my cousin. Well, thank you.
When you put it that way, I mean, in a different, I'm still gonna talk to them. I'll just console them. You know what? Don't worry, just produce more.
Why you have to put it that way?
Just reproduce more creatures. No, I'm still gonna talk to animals.
Yes. Okay.
I don't want to be knowing people's minds. Nah.
No problem. Okay.
No. Next one. Let's go. Let's move on from that.
All right.
Okay. Would you rather have a personal assistant who anticipates your every need, or a technology that allows you to work from anywhere in the world? Tech.
Oh.
Yeah.
Give me the personal assistant.
No, I'm gonna do tech.
Listen, I don't watch too many movies where robots took over the world.
No.
I'm okay.
No, I'm gonna
give me the personal assistant any day.
Yes,
No.
I would have to agree with T on this one.
I will do
personal
tech.
assistant. You would do tech?
Wow.
Yeah, I will do tech.
Wow.
No. Okay.
Work
all right. To each his
wherever.
own.
Yes.
So
exactly.
2 against 1. I will definitely go with this one.
No,
Personal assistant. All the way.
Yes.
All right. Let us go. Let us go to the next one.
Okay,
There we
nice.
go. Bam. So would you rather solve a complex mathematical equation or unravel a challenging riddle? Goodness, this one here is a no-brainer for me. I would definitely have to go with solving the challenging riddle, because let me tell you, when they give us riddles here on the show, listen, I can't get it right to save my life. Angelique here be cheating all the time. I don't know what's going on. So yes, this right here for me. Yes, I would definitely stick with the riddle.
I'll do with the riddle too.
I'm a numbers girl. I gotta go with the math.
She really
I'm
is.
a numbers
No, because you
girl.
already know how to do math, so why don't you do the
can
riddle?
you imagine? There's like some math equations that you
gets
cannot.
excited.
Okay, but
Yes.
how is that
excited
gonna
and
help your
happy.
life?
Listen, I could already solve riddles easily, so I'm
How
sticking
is that
with the
gonna
math.
help your life? Because that help you wash your clothes.
Yes, how you think they built the machine?
Okay, let's go.
Math is in everything.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. But
Okay.
I'll definitely stick with the riddle.
Yeah, me too.
Okay,
Riddle.
yeah,
right.
numbers is for me, no
right.
problem.
Let's
So
go
our next one is, would you rather spend an hour in complete silence or an hour in nature with no distractions?
Oh,
Nature.
This one is
Nature. For sure. Nature.
This one's hard for me. And the reason why is because I have environmental allergies. So I would love this,
But what if you like had like your allergy medicine or you didn't
And you're
have
just
to-
like covered.
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
I feel like if I had an hour in silence,
you know
I
what?
would talk
I'm-
too much in my own head. Like my mind would be busy.
Would be
like
just
right
like
now.
talking.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go with the nature.
Yeah.
I'll go with the nature.
Nature
it's
is
beautiful.
at least-
It's beautiful.
relaxing.
Yeah,
it
the
quiets
fresh
the mind.
air, the
It's-
birds
it's really good.
chirping.
Yeah.
Nature is
All right,
good.
I'm gonna stick with this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have
Yeah.
sniffles and everything.
Yeah, just
I'ma
make
stick
sure
with
that
this
you're
one.
equipped and then
I
you
know,
go
right?
there.
Be prepared.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go to our next one.
Okay.
There you go. Bam. So our next one is, would you rather be able to learn a new skill in just 1 hour or be able to recall any information you've ever learned instantly?
I think I know your answer to this.
What's my answer?
The instantly.
Yes! They know me!
Yes.
Yeah, because she forgets. She forget. What did we say just now? She doesn't know.
I don't know.
Yes.
Yes, I would go with
I want to go with the recall. And
No, I would do the
because-
skill.
But look, if you learn a skill but you don't remember it, what's the point?
Yeah.
No, it didn't say that you're not gonna remember it. It just said you're gonna learn it in an hour.
I
would learn a skill.
definitely
No.
like the research.
Imagine you
I
can
need to
learn
remember- I
a
need to
skill, a
remember
piano
stuff.
skill in 1 hour, which takes you like years and
but
years.
think of how long it's gonna take you if you can recall anything that you've learned.
Yeah.
No, it's
And I've
recent
learned a lot
information.
throughout the years. We all
Recent
have, but I'm sticking with
No,
this
I'm gonna
one.
do with the hour.
I'm sticking to
with
this one.
Yeah, me too.
I'm in the learning.
Yes. All right. 2 against 1. Angelique.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, next one.
Woo.
would you rather have the ability to read minds or the ability to control your dreams?
Okay,
I don't even remember my dreams, but I'm gonna go with the control your dreams.
Yeah, I don't want to read people's mind.
Yeah,
I'll talk to you in your mind, weak, but I don't want to read people's
that's
thoughts.
too much.
Yeah, I don't want to read people's minds either, because let me tell you, I mean...
There are things that you don't even want to know. No, seriously.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's things we would not want to learn. No.
I'll control
your
my dreams
yes.
and not have
let
no
me tell
dreams.
You.
I don't even remember my dreams.
Has it ever happened to you? You know it's time to get up, but you're like in this dream, and sometimes you can control your dream, and you're like, no, you know what? I can't continue in this dream because I have to get up
later on.
Yeah.
So I would definitely.
Have you ever had like a dream where you think you're awake but you're really sleeping?
Yes.
You think you woke up but you didn't wake up.
Yes, and I was like, well, no, what?
There's another dream that all of us, I believe, we've had, but you know what? I'm not even gonna get into that. Let's go.
Moving on.
Okay, so our next one is, would you rather live in a world without stress or a world without conflict?
Oh, this one's hard.
I would say stress.
No, for me it's conflict.
You know why I would say stress? Because if we can have no conflict but still be stressed. But if we have a conflict but there's no stress, we can resolve it in a rightful way.
For me, it's because stress, you are doing it to yourself. You can release it, you know how to manage it. But with conflict, the other person would want to have conflict, and you don't want a conflict is still going to be there. Stress, the other person would want you to be stressed, but if you manage your stress, then you can be stressed.
So this is a world without stress. So like nobody is stressed.
I don't know.
Oh,
and
listen,
there's
I'm
good
torn.
stress.
Can I pick both? No? Okay.
There is also good stress, because sometimes when you're stressed, you are a little bit more productive when you get a little stress. You know that there is a I think
okay, I will go with world without.
I'm in the conflict.
She's like, I know answer.
Okay, let me stick to this one. I'm gonna stick with world without stress.
Yeah,
I'll stick to that one.
I will do the conflict.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think there's healthy ways we can resolve conflict.
Yeah, there is. So I'm gonna go with this one. World without stress. We don't need no stress. All right. Do we got any more?
I think one more.
Bam, there it goes for you. So, would you rather have the ability to teleport short distances or the ability to speak to the dead?
Teleport me.
I don't want to go that route.
I wouldn't even need to learn how to drive it.
There you go.
Teleport me.
There you go. Listen, I agree with this. Listen,
I would teleport.
because here in Houston, you gotta drive everywhere.
that
Sometimes we
traffic.
just don't have the car that's available for you to drive. So I would teleport myself there.
Yeah.
I don't want to speak to the dead. I'm sorry.
No. That you don't touch this.
Between these two, I'd rather teleport.
Me. Not having to be in traffic, not having to drive. You can just get somewhere. And if I wake up late, I don't have to worry.
Would it work now? Let me just be like, let me
go
go home now. Let me see if it's gonna work.
No.
Where is Nori? Where is Nori?
Sorry.
I don't see Nori.
But yes, I'll definitely go with this one.
Yeah, so
teleport.
that is our last one.
Alrighty.
Yeah. But
this is good.
Yeah, it was.
I like this
our minds kind
It
of
was
like,
interesting.
Let's put our minds together again. So
can I have the personal assistant now? Is that possible?
No, it's not. Sorry.
No.
Not. All right. So that was it.
Yeah, that's it. Like I got my brain got a little tired from all the thinking. So let's take a quick break.
All right.
So and we're also gonna give you a quick break. So we'll be right back after this.
We will be right back with more Breaking the Silence.
Real women, real talk. Breaking the Silence is where it all goes down. Let's connect and empower together.
Did you make the transfer to Hong Kong for the Emerson project?
I was just about to, but did you see the boss's email? It doesn't look right.
It looked fine to me.
I don't remember him mentioning the Emerson project at our last meeting.
The bank in Hong Kong closes in 15 minutes. Make the transfer.
Yes, sir. It's on the way.
Mr. Jacobs, just transferred the money for the Emerson project.
What Emerson project?
Don't be that guy. Trust but verify.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Woo!
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size.
Yeah.
Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right seat.
Are you sick and tired of all the negativity you see on your social media apps? Follow LFN to change that. You can like us on Facebook, or scroll through our feed on Instagram. And you can watch enriching content on YouTube. LFN. Enrich your life.
You are watching Breaking the Silence.
Okay, so we're back and we're going to be talking about menopause. But hold on, menopause and HRT, hormone replacement therapy, how it's going to affect or maybe, have some benefits and risk, or maybe even consider it later on as an option for you.
Menopause, a lot of women who face menopause, well, everyone's gonna face it. There's women who are facing it now, there's women who are about to, they're entering that, and for the younger ones, eventually they will face it. Mm-hmm. Menopause often, there's ranges of physical and emotional changes when it comes to menopause. A lot of people, they dread it. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are worried about it, and they're already inquiring, and that's what we're going to be diving into today on this topic. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to be very interesting, especially for those preparing for it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and we want to give you informed information. So we're going to tell you the benefits. Yeah. We're also going to tell you the risks concerning it, because we want you to be able to make the best decision possible. So we don't want to just say oh, this is so good, use this, and then you do, and you have these side effects, you have these risks, and you wasn't informed properly. So we want to give you all of that so you can make the decision that's best for you, because what works for us may not work for you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And let's define what menopause is, although it's entirely widely known, but menopause is actually when your menstrual period stops. It stops permanently, and it typically occurs between the ages of 45 and 55. So it depends if you started your menstrual period in the early ages, 10 to sometimes even 9, 8. And then when it starts early, then it ends early because of the life of your eggs.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and some of the symptoms of menopause, like we just saw earlier as well, hot flashes. I've been around people who, one moment they're hot and they're opening all the windows. It can be winter and they're just opening up all the windows, and then a few moments later they're closing it, they're putting on the heat, and they're oh, I'm cold. So it's their body is just going haywire. So hot flashes is definitely one of the symptoms of menopause, as well as many others.
You can also have night sweats, which is you'll wake up and the entire bed will be wet, it'll be soaking wet. You also have a decreased libido. Mm-hmm. You also can have sleep disturbances, you can't sleep at night, no matter what you do, no matter how you try. I've known people who are going through menopause and they will just stay up all night cleaning. because they just can't go to sleep. They're lying down in bed, their husband will be knocked out, snoring, but they themselves cannot go to sleep. You also have mood swings, you know, and this is something that I feel like we all deal with, but it gets worse over time because it's not like a certain time of the month. No, this can be the whole time while you're in menopause, you have these mood swings as well.
You know, and with these symptoms, you find a lot of times that the person, not only the woman, but people around them too, they tend to be kind of like fussy or upset because it's like, what is wrong with you? Or some women, they even start to think that there's, you know, there's something going on with them. There is something that's like, what's going on? What's wrong? No, this is a natural process that, you know, many people go through. I'm not going to say everybody because everyone is different. I have seen women who have menopause in different ways, like they really wasn't affected by it, and then there's others that, oh my goodness, they're just like all over the place, emotionally and physically as well.
And that is why they came up, like researchers, they came up with HRT because of the extreme symptoms that, you know, women face on this age, like 45 to 55. So what is HRT? So it's hormone replacement therapy. So basically it involves replacing the natural hormones, which is estrogen and progesterone, that the body is no longer producing or isn't producing enough of. So when you stop your menstrual period, estrogen is being, like the production of estrogen stops as well. And estrogen has a lot of benefits in the body. And that is why women face a lot of the symptoms. And that is why hormone replacement therapy could be an option that you may want to consider for those who are watching who are maybe in the menopause stage or preparing to be in menopause.
And it's available in many different forms, like pills, patches. It's also available in injections and creams as well. So, you know, when it comes to that, to each his own. But at the same time, you know, as Shaitia was saying earlier, that's something you really want to look into. You have to see if it's going to work for you, the dosage as well that you're going to get, because everyone varies depending, you know, on their health, depending, you know, on their stature, depending on so many different things. It's not like one thing for everybody. So that's something you definitely have to look into and have to inquire in as well. But there's different forms. Different forms.
And you know, some of the benefits are, as we were talking about mood swings, is you have like, because your hormones are balanced, you're just like in an overall good mood.
Peace. Yeah,
exactly. A lot of people that started taking this, they see that their mood swings are less and less. They see that they have that peace. You know, there's an effective overall symptom relief where they don't have hot flashes as they would normally have. They don't have the night sweats. You know, they're able to sleep. Even their thyroid, because we know like our hormones can affect our thyroid. So even their thyroid function is also much better as well. So we see these benefits of it, but as well we have benefits, we also have risks.
Another though to add on that is bone health. Because when you're like, you know, elderly, especially women, you get a little bit more fragile. So especially with your bones, because again, with the lack of production of estrogen. So when you take HRT in whichever form, then it boosts that production of estrogen. They replace that hormone that's not producing naturally in your body, and that is why it increases, you know, your bone density. Instead of losing bone density, you actually have like more strength in your bones.
Prevents osteoporosis.
And prevents osteoporosis, exactly.
It's true. And of course, the mood swing. You always hear, oh, you PMSing, what's wrong with you, and this and that. It definitely helps with that as well. Like you said earlier, it helps with the mood swing. People find themselves like, just like you just said, they find themselves good. They find themselves in a place where they're not like all over the place. They're focused. They're being able to function properly and do everything they have to do. So it has its good benefits as well as a risk as well. Because I was also watching these two men that they were talking about it as well, that if women who have hysterectomies, they don't necessarily need to take progesterone. No, they don't need to take estrogen. They only need to take progesterone. But women who don't have the hysterectomy, they need to take both. But again, because everyone is different, everyone varies. It is always important for you to consult, not to just jump ahead and say, oh, hey, you know what? I want to stop PMSing, or I want to stop having these hot flashes or these night sweats, or, you know, I want to stop having, you know, all of these things. Let me just go ahead and do it. No, everyone is different. The studies that they were doing was with women who were of age, but they were probably, they separate them in like to two categories. Some of them, they were smokers, or, you know, some of them, you know, they didn't have a healthy, you know, eating lifestyle, and the others did. And when they made that comparison, you saw that the effects of it was less for those who had a healthier lifestyle than for those who did. And of course, health issues as well. If you have other health issues, it's always good to report it. It's always good to let the doctors know, hey, look, I have this, I have that, and to see if it's gonna be a match for you to take it or not, because like we were saying earlier, it definitely has risks that can be able to go against anything that you might be on. So.
Yeah. And it's important to stay informed. Like if this is something that you're interested in, it's good to make sure you're always doing your researches, because things change, you know, treatments change, symptoms change. A lot of things, as we see in modern medicine, is not the same as it was before. So you have to make sure that you're always doing your research, you're always checking up on it, you're always speaking to your doctor. If maybe, you know, it starts off good and then you start seeing something a little later down the line. So it's always good to make sure you're informed and speak to your doctor about any changes that you may see, so that way they can adjust the treatment plan for you.
Yeah, and just to add on, you know, as both of you mentioned, but there's also some side effects. And prolonged treatment of HRT have some side effects, so we wanted to bring you the benefits and the risk as well. So one of them is actually increased risk of breast cancer, heart disease. We also have stroke, and also blood clots. So if you have a history of maybe heart disease in your family, you have a history of blood clots, or you have a history of bleeding, you may want, as Tracy was mentioning, you may want to, you know, check with your health provider to see what's really best for you, because maybe there's another thing that would work for you more, that would alleviate your symptoms more than HRT. We're just giving you something that will be an option, but there are other options there as well. So make sure that you do check with the person who knows your health best, which is your healthcare provider.
There you go.
So, but we also would like to hear from you. Like maybe you say that this is something that you thought of, this is something that you already, you know, researched, and you have some advice, some tips for those who are interested in. Always feel free to DM us. Maybe you're already doing the HRT, you know, you're already doing the treatment, and you can tell us your experience, personal, on how it's going for you.
Yes, so participate with us, interact with us, but right now we did not forget. Okay, so we are gonna go to our question of the day. Okay, so let's read our question of the day one more time for those of you who are just tuning in, or for those of you who forgot already about it. Okay, so should mobile phones be banned in restaurants? And we have lovely viewers who actually send in their responses. And our first one is coming from Alicia. This is tricky. I don't think it's polite to have your phone out while dining, but should a restaurant be able to dictate your dining like that?
That's a good question.
Yeah, you have a
That's a good question. I agree. I agree with you on that one, Alicia. All right. Thank you for that, though. We do have our next comment, which is from Kendall. No. Why is it anybody's business if I take a picture or doom scroll when I'm eating? I'm my own boss. Okay. All right.
Okay, and we have our last comment from Beatrice. I've already seen some places doing it, and it seems like it's been working. So sure. Okay. You know, for me, I kind of would like a restaurant to ban phones. And you're all looking at me like I'm crazy.
No, I'm like, okay,
but I feel like not banning where you can't bring it inside, because of course emergency situations happen. But also we see so many videos like where people are recording stuff maybe without that person's permission. You know, like we see videos of things go wrong and they post it without that person's permission, and I don't think that's right. Also, I feel like a restaurant should be a time where you're communicating with someone. Maybe you're on the date, things like that, and you should communicate face to face rather than on the whole time scrolling. Oh, look at this. No, I think you should use that time for face-to-face conversation.
Okay, I mean, I agree with you on that, but then again, for me, it's like, okay, that's where we need to have discipline. That's where we need to have discipline. If you know you're going out with your boo, your friend, whoever it is, you know, and you want to have a nice time, put the phone, just put the phone down. But I'm thinking about emergencies already, or maybe something important that you're actually waiting for, and you want to know exactly when it comes in, you know, because I don't know, something depends on it or whatever the case may be. So I wouldn't want to go with the ban.
So maybe it's not banned, but like additional rules on how you can actually use your phone. You know, maybe remove the flash, or you know, put it on silent or put it on mute so that not to disturb other diners, or maybe if it's too bright, you know, that would disturb others, or maybe just, you know, time, I don't know, like allocate some time where you can use it, and then for some time you don't need to use it. You know, some rules that, you know, diners or customers can actually follow instead of like just banning it completely, because again, emergencies can happen, and if you don't have like a phone that could reach you, you know, then it's something that it's gonna be bad.
Exactly. Right.
So. Yeah, that's our comments for our question of the day. We got a little, like, you know, going on. However, if you do have another comment or you did not actually send in your comment, you still have time to do that. We still have our Instagram page, so you can actually send in your response as well. But we're going to go on a quick break and we'll be right back.
The show isn't over yet. Don't change the channel. We will be right back with more Breaking the Silence.
Human trafficking is slavery.
And it happens all over America.
Any child, any woman, any man could potentially become a victim of human trafficking.
I am a victim of labor trafficking.
I was a victim of child sex trafficking, but now I own my body.
Human trafficking is any kind of forced labor.
It can happen to anybody.
I am a mother.
I am an author.
I am a son.
I'm an advocate.
I am an educator.
I'm a sister.
I am a brother.
I'm so much more than what happened to me.
I am strong.
I am brave.
I am outspoken.
I am compassionate.
I am a survivor.
I'm a survivor.
I am a survivor.
I am a survivor.
I am a survivor.
I am a survivor of human trafficking.
Talk. Breaking the silence is where stories become connections. Let's break the silence together.
You know, ladies, another thing that I think why mobile phones should not be banned in restaurants, you know why? Because they can't watch us. What if they want to go to a restaurant at 2 o'clock or, you know, any time of the day, in the morning, night or day or afternoon, and they want to watch Breaking the Silence? There's no way they're gonna miss the show.
But now that you put it that way, we can be accessed on any local channel, so they can just tell them to flip the channel.
Everybody can watch it. Exactly. Okay, that's another thing. But what if there are no TVs in that restaurant?
Okay, stop.
All right. So we did have a great conversation though today. We talked a lot about overcoming imposter syndrome. You know, women, ladies, you got this, okay?
Exactly.
So don't doubt your success. Believe that your achievements are there, and you don't need to prove yourself, you know, to anybody. Just make sure that you're getting better every single day, taking that step. Okay, and we also have HRT.
Yes,
you know,
definitely.
hormone replacement therapy for those who are maybe considering it as an option for those going through menopause or preparing for it.
For those who are struggling with it, yes, 100%.
But something that we don't want you to forget is also our kinks. And that also airs every Monday to Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. But also we have our recap Saturday, Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So you don't have no excuse to miss it because basically it's airing every single day.
There you go.
Exactly.
So ladies, whether you're in a restaurant or not, bring your phone. Don't let it be bad.
This girl's too much when it comes with the phone.
Yeah, I mean, like, hey, if you need that communication, face-to-face contact, then do what you have to do. But
all right, that's all we got for today, y'all. See ya. Bye.